Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we are Team As Seen on TV, and tonight we'll be presenting to you our new product concept idea called Plug Pal. I'm Antoine Machadi.
Sam Stern, Catherine Galterio, Sasha Houston.
We're going to first start off with a brief skit about the functionality and need for our product, followed by marketing implications, then move on to manufacturing and costing, and end with the next step in the development process. So I hope you enjoy. Thanks.
It's always such a hassle to talk on my phone when it's plugged into the wall. The cord is always so short. This happens everywhere. In my bed, at my desk, at home. What can I do?
Did I hear you had cord length issues?
Yep.
Well, would you believe me if I told you that this was an extension cord?
Nope.
Well, it is. Detach these plug housings off the main cord housing, and you could extend the cord to a length of 6 feet. And then, when you decide, you can have it retract back inside into this neat cord housing.
Cool. I've thought about using regular extension cords, but those can be really messy with all the excess cord. I've also seen retractable devices on the market as well. There's big ones and there's small ones. The big ones are usually used for industrial projects and are not usually portable. The small ones don't even come close to having the amount of features Plug Pal has.
Plug Pal stores its cord in this neat compact design, so you don't have to deal with the mess of regular extension cords.
Awesome.
My computer battery is almost out, and all the outlets are currently being occupied. And I'm studying in the library. I hate it when this happens. What am I going to do?
Did I hear you have socket issues?
Did I say that out loud?
Well, you sure did. See, Plug Pal you can plug in a bunch of devices into this. Well, you could plug in 3. This part you plug into the wall, and it has a female socket on the outside so that you don't have to use up the wall socket. And on the other side has 2 female sockets, one which you could plug in another Plug Pal, so you could get even more plugs, or you could plug 2 devices into it with the same outside plug system as the front side. These plugs have 3 LED lights which will correspond to a small, medium, or large amount of power being drawn by the device plugged into these outlets, and a convenient power switch so you can turn on and off your device as you choose.
That's great. Can I take it with me to the coffee shop or anywhere else that I want to study?
You sure can, and if you buy it from me now, I'll throw in a free carrying case and a wall socket to micro USB adapter so you could charge your cell phone or your camera or any other device that takes it.
How much?
It's $19.99.
What a deal.
You're telling me.
So, since the 4 of us thought that this product idea was a good concept and something that we would use, we wanted to explore that further. So we conducted some consumer research. First, we looked through secondary data, and we found some staggering statistics on users of personal electronic devices such as laptops, cell phones, and so on. We found that cell phone subscribers, for example, have been increasing at the rate of 5.9% over the last 5 years, up to over 305 million people. That's more people than the amount of people in the United States alone. So that means that that's a huge lifestyle change in regards to cell phone subscribers. So also for computer users have also been increasing at the rate of 3.4% per year. And according to IBIS industry reports, this number is going to get up to 91% of all consumers by 2016. So we also conducted some primary research. We asked our friends and family first, and then we also did a convenience sampling of UVM students to find out if there was actually a need for our product and whether they thought our product was a good idea. So our target market consists of males and females over the age of 14, students and professionals who have enough discretionary income to buy personal electronic devices like cell phones or laptops or iPads, for example. The market resides anywhere in the United States with access to a duplex convenience outlet, or anywhere outside the United States with a foreign plug adapter. And we hope to break into Canada and Mexico as soon as we can. An attribute of our market will be that they'll be environmentally conscious and they'll like to travel with their personal electronic device or devices. So we project 5 to 10% of all consumer personal electronic device users to be our market size. Like I said before, 91% of U.S. consumers will own a computer by 2016. So that number is 185 million people who could possibly have a need for our product. So 5 to 10% of that number is 9.5 to 18.5 million people. For our market share, we are initially expecting a low market share because we need to break into the market. We eventually expect 100% because there is currently nothing like our product out there with all the added features and class. But after a while, we expect there to be knockoffs because we are not seeking patent protection, and Sam will get into that detail further.
While exploring the idea for the plug pal, we did come across some market opportunities. Although there are competitive products, there are only a few portable retractable devices on the market currently. Also, American consumers love convenience products, and plug pal is definitely convenient in that it reduces the amount of excess cord. There's also a growing energy concern, and plug pal has LED lights that users can track the amount of energy being used on the product. Finally, as we stated before, there's a growing demand for personal electronic devices, and plug pal can be used with these devices. Therefore, as the demand for the personal electronic devices goes up, hopefully the demand of the plug pal will increase as well. With opportunities does come risk. Although there are a few direct competitors that are out there on the market, there are competitive products, and consumers may take a while to truly recognize the unique features of the plug pal. Therefore, it may take a while for us to truly delve into the market, as Catherine explained before. Along with competing products, regular extension cords have a long lifespan. Many American consumers own extension cords, so they might not initially see the need for plug pal if they have something at home that fits their basic need. Seeing as though cord length on personal electronic devices is an issue, they might start implementing their retractableness and the extension on their chargers and the products. So therefore, if this happens, demand might go down a little bit. And finally, we are not seeking a patent initially. We predict that the sales will be highest in the first couple years, so we will not be seeking a patent because of the extra cost and the amount of time it gets that patent. So therefore, we do run the risk of companies coming in and knocking off or copying our product. However, we do plan on combating that issue by marketing and branding our product so well that consumer loyalty and product recognition will continue to drive sales for the plug pal.
Now that you are familiar with the basic functions and marketing implications of our product, we would like to tell you what it's made of. We're using the components of the assembly, the parts that we make and stuff that we buy. The parts that we make in-house include the main housing, the plug housings, and the spool. And we're planning to use the product of DuPont nylon 66 based material. More specifically, it is Zytel renewably sourced product family, and it is developed for injection molding applications. For the parts that we buy, such as spring, cord, circuit board, and LED adapter, we specify the basic requirements for those parts. Spring has to be made out of tempered steel to provide hardness. Cord has to withstand a typical household current of 15 to 20 amps. Circuit board needs to enclose all the required components of the circuit board assembly, which can be found in the appendix. And finally, LED adapter has to be made of acrylic due to an excellent ability of this material to see light. We would like to talk about the manufacturing processes we're proposing for the parts we're making, and we want to emphasize the benefits of injection molding for our applications, since it allows for a very low price per part for very high production rates, thus taking advantage of economies of scale. However, the initial tooling investment is very high, but this process practically eliminates finishing operations, which eventually reduces the variable cost per unit. Also, we're suggesting that aluminum molds are used at the initial stage of the production development due to their lower cost, greater flexibility, and decreased lead time. We're suggesting that aluminum molds are used to produce the first 1,000 units of product, and also aluminum tooling may be used as a backup plan later. Once the design is finalized, however, it is required to purchase hardened steel tooling in order to keep up with mature production volume. We have made sales projections for our product based on the following assumptions. We are assuming that this is a low learning product which means that sales begin immediately, little learning is required by the consumer, and benefits of purchase are readily understood. We also assume that we're targeting to sell 6 million units over 3 years, and the peak sales volume occurs at the end of the third year, which is the end of 12th quarter. These assumptions allowed us to derive a quadratic formula to model the sales volume on a quarterly basis. We also looked at the costs of our product. The first category is development costs, and this involves hiring a consultant product designer as well as a patent attorney, submitting our product to Underwriters Laboratory for approval. This also involves cost of an aluminum mold used at the initial stage of production and the part of the focus group's cost. Ramp-up cost is the cost of switching from an aluminum tool to a steel tool to keep up with high production volume. Marketing and support costs partly consists of the cost of focus groups, and also as soon as production starts, we use percentage of sales revenues to estimate our marketing budget. Unit production cost was estimated from the bill of materials, and it is currently estimated as $5.85 per unit. This includes material, processing, and assembly costs, but does not include tooling, which is part of our ramp-up cost. So the categories of cash flows we just talked about are summarized in this table. We also added sales and production volume, 6 million units over 3 years, and the suggested unit price, $19.99. We assumed that the interest rate will be 10% per year, compounded quarterly, which makes it 2.5% per quarter, and this allowed us to compute the discounted cash flows and net present value of the project. This slide shows our calculations for the cash flows, and you can see all the costs we talked about: development costs, ramp-up costs, marketing and support costs, as well as sales revenue and production costs. The important thing to note here is that the net present value of the project is positive, and it's over $53 million. And it is also important to understand that this estimate is based on our assumptions. It is based that we will be able to sell as many units as we project to sell.
All right, so this initial Plug Pal is not the only product that we envision for the Plug Pal family. We have several line extensions in mind. The first one being a more heavy-duty industrial version that could be used in outdoor applications, in music venues, in workshops. This would involve a longer cord and be made from a more heavy-duty material that could withstand a little bit more beating than the Plug Pal that goes in the home. Secondly, flat cord wiring is a technology that's in development. We'd really like to get involved with that and see where it could go, because it could make our product much smaller, much more desirable. And finally, we could introduce a deluxe Plug Pal version. This could involve more energy efficient features, such as a digital readout of your energy consumption, maybe something that could track your energy consumption, and maybe an automatic shut-off feature that could detect idle products and shut them off when they're not being used. So for our next steps in our development, we would like to hire a patent attorney. We've done our own patent search, but we would really like to confirm that we're not infringing on any patents. And secondly, we would consult a product designer, simply to make sure that our design is functional and is going to work and last. And secondly, we want to add a child-proofing feature, and other than just providing your traditional child-proofing plugs, we'd like to see if there's a cooler, more desirable way to do that. The testing that we'd want to do is submitting our product to Underwriters Laboratory to ensure the safety of our buyers, and secondly, market and consumer testing through focus groups and sending out approximately 500 samples to people with surveys to get their reactions. And the cost of the aluminum mold, because we would need that for the focus groups and the samples, and this would all cost us, we estimate, to about $83,000 in a year's worth of our time. So if there are two main takeaways that you could take from this, is that Plug Pal accomplishes a need that is under-advertised, and it plays off the energy efficiency trend, and it stands to make a lot of money for product designers and save a lot of money for people. Thank you. I'd like to open it to any questions now.